she had worn me down to a point where we didn't really put a lot of icicles on like I wanted to. And you did. The book was shot. Kate Dearman did an awesome job. I was just texting with her earlier. We shot it 2 Christmases ago, wasn't it? Yeah, 2 Christmases ago. And it was going to be released last fall in 2024, but with the Institute of Southern Storytelling and Anthony, we went on tour with that Eudora Welty book. And so I pushed it off a year, and which is good because I didn't write most of the stories in here or rewrite some of these were kind of past columns that I updated and changed and rewrote. Most of it's just new stuff. And I did that during a week-long break in Tuscany. And so there's something about being out of town, especially in another country. Just, Jill was in the villa, and I was thinking about home and thinking about Christmases when I was a kid. And so I wrote a lot of the stories that are in here then. There's one story that didn't make it in that I've been reading at different books. I read it on Thacker Mountain. I read it at the library the other day in Starkville that really connects with people. So I put it out in my column. So it's on robertstjohn.com now. It's called, it has something to do with tinsel. I can't remember what I titled it. But it's about when I was a kid and growing up in that neighborhood, and then later, like we were a tinsel family. We called them icicles. My brother and I would just, it looked like Mardi Gras. We're throwing just icicles. Our whole tree, if you could see green, we hadn't done a good job. Jill, on the other hand, is very anti-tinsel. And so that was one of the early dilemmas, I'll say, in our marriage is I'd throw the icicles on the tree. This is before kids. She'd come behind me and take them off, which is not easy to do if you know that tinsel. And then when the kids were born and they were little, she had worn me down to a point where we didn't really put a lot of icicles on like I wanted to. And you did. And so the kids would want to put icicles on, and then eventually, if you go to my house right now, there's 2 Christmas trees, 0 icicles. But if you go to the Midtowner, that thing's tinseled up like an old St. John tree on Bellwood Drive, thanks to Justin.